Sunday night social at the Adams Arms. It's not just any Sunday, though. It is a Sunday of the North London derby. We now know, once again, that London is without question red. I don't know about you, but I definitely didn't see it happening out the way it did. Absolutely. What a fantastic result. What a timely result for the title challenge, but what a fantastic result. I said earlier in the day that the North London derby is how the players show the fans that they know how much we care, and they repay us by beating Spurs at home in the North London derby, and that is exactly what they did. It is fantastic times to be an Arsenal fan.
Bravo, Jungle Ransom, the Guna sound system. We come to mash up the dance tonight. Arsenal style, red and white. Get behind the red army. Wood. Moving like Ferrari. With the handbrake off. Take it off. With the handbrake off. No stop, no stop. Rattle the cage. The lions are awake. From Highbury's goes to the Emirates gates. Drums like thunder, hearts vibrate. When the cannon boom is too late. Take the handbrake off. Red army rolling on. Saka on the wing, blazing trails. Trossard twist and the keeper whale. Arteta plan, never derail. Jungle drums on the red hot sails. Get behind the red army. Moving like Ferraris. With the handbrake off. Get behind brake off. Get behind the red army. Moving like Ferraris. With the handbrake off. Take it up. With the handbrake off. No stop, no stop. Red army. Moving like Ferraris. With the handbrake off. With the handbrake off.
That's what I'm talking about. Get behind the red army, handbrake off, open play goals. Battered Spurs. Battered them. What else do you want from us? What have we done wrong this time? Somebody tell me. Where did it go wrong? Have we done something wrong? How did it turn out? Eze, this is exactly the game we bought him for, isn't it? When they come chucking paint over his mural. All those people who said, you know, what are we doing putting a mural up? Well, we do. We're believing that what this team has been missing is a little spark of creativity, a little handbrake off, to borrow the overused phrase. But that handbrake off, that somebody who can unlock defenses, that was a masterclass from Eze today. That is a standout performance in a standout game in a season that could really stand out. And is exactly why we were all so excited about Eze. Some of us are less excited about Gyökeres. Some of us didn't see Zubimendi's value to the team and still don't. And let's be honest, dropped a bit of a ricket today. Good game, actually. But, you know, given I actually said at the start of today, I said, I can't find a way to be frightened of Richarlison. And when he scored, all right, like I still didn't think they were going to come back and equalise or anything, but you do kind of just think, words coming back to haunt me. But Eze, you know, this is poetic. You know, this is a player who turns down Tottenham at the last minute to come and play for Arsenal. Has them upset all the way to the end of the transfer window and beyond. And tonight upsets them even more. It's beautiful. Lifelong Arsenal fans, beautiful. He prayed for a hat-trick and he scored a hat-trick. And it wasn't a crappy hat-trick. Let's be honest, there's some good goals in there. And Trossard, goggles, old big ones, here we come. Love him. Absolutely love him. Best finisher in the club? Not sure, but who cares? Thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere in the world, but it's the Adams Arms. It's Sunday night social. It's a chance to look back on what a weekend. What a weekend for Arsenal fans. We're allowed to celebrate this. Don't let anyone tell you we're not, by the way. So thank you for being here. Food, giggles, and footy with. Please make sure you're sub to the channel and you've pressed that like button on the way in. Rosie, thank you. Fandabby Rosie, everybody, the greatest. We will be talking about the real triumph in recent past, Scotland qualifying. Thoughts? Well done, Scotland. Don't come home too soon. Company Gunners, happy days. Big up to you, DJ B, the one, the only, pushing out fantastic content. Please make sure you subscribe to his channel. Yeah, what a day. And I know he was at the game as well. So envy. Of course, I'm envious of anyone who was there today because this feels like one that's going to live in the memory. There we go. Zanzi Barbarian with evening, landlord. I'll have a pint of have you seen Tottenham win the league and a packet of have you fuck. No, I have not. Have you ever seen Tottenham win the league? We can leave that there for later on. We did talk about Scotland qualifying last Tuesday. I think you went to powder your nose and Dan said, I hear Scotland have qualified. Then someone mentioned sandwiches and that was that. Well, that is pretty standard here. More sandwiches have been completed, and there's an absolutely epic one. I'm going to make these videos up and then release them eventually, but please stay tuned for Foods Ball. Geezer, you know what? Like normally when we see Hawkwind, we have to do one thing, but tonight it's all about...
The Guna sound system. We come for mash up the dance tonight. Arsenal style, red and white. Get behind the red army, moving like Ferraris.
Get behind the red army, moving like Ferraris with the handbrake off. With the hand, they're going to hate on us for something. I can't wait to find out what it is. Emergency streams happening tonight. It seems unlikely. When you think about actually what's happened today is quite an amazing journey. You know, a club with a shit manager, shit players, shit fans, no standards. Just turned over their North London rivals 4-1. Of course, I keep forgetting it's us. So Tottenham is shit, basically. We won, therefore Tottenham is shit. Any team we batter are shit. And we've battered a lot of very shit teams who other people seem to lose to. I don't think Tottenham are going to finish in the top 4 positions. I do feel it's harsh that Thomas Frank is getting as much grief as he is. He is in a rebuilding project. You know, we talked about them. You know, you only had to look at them last season just above they would have got relegated if it wasn't for the fact that the 3 teams relegated were so poor. Excuse me, I'm already getting left behind. You geezer, ahem. Nice to see you, Nick Fadley. Click the like. I think you'll like it. Big up, boys, says Tyrell Gunner TV, and of course, girls. And Hawkwind says hi to Zanzi. Miss Melina, fantastic. Hi all, says Miss Melina. And Jose's here, BX Gunner 81, fantastic news. So, going through it. Come on, share some thoughts. I mean, I absolutely love days like this because it's unifying, isn't it? Like, isn't this what everyone wanted? No one's really upset about a freak goal beating us. We've done our goal difference some good. I haven't checked. I think, aren't we now joint top goal scorers? It's been a fantastic, fantastic game for us today and a great weekend. Big up everybody, says Miss Melina. Miss Melina is welcomed by Hawkwind. Then there's a lot of helloing and whatnotting. Belt to ass, just like Mama used to do. Yep. Well, we sure developed them humbling now, didn't we? Tottenham Hotspur. Have you seen her? Tell me, have you? Let's see if we could get... Is there any way we can get a Tottenham fan on here? No, there is no way. They go very quiet. You don't see them now for a while. Hi, Zanzi, Nick, Tyrell, Malia, Jose. Hi to everyone. Just it's quicker. Hear me out. We need to have some more serious conversations about Zubi. Would seem like a weird day to do it. That's all I'm saying. Like, yeah, he gave the ball away. Yeah, he did under a bit of pressure. I thought overall he was tidy. It wasn't his best game. But I think the idea is that today was Eze's day, and that even if all 3 assists had been from Zubi, it wouldn't have made any difference. What I will say is that Marino's assist was a thing of beauty. Lovely. And Trossard. Oh, Trossard. How wrong I was to want you gone. Oh, look at that. Look. He's gone from Cole S to Cole Stan 42. I don't know. Cole S was kind of your thing. Woohoo! Absolutely. Cole S as a statue design sorted. Love it. Why wouldn't you? At this point, we've got a mural. Fuck it. Let's manifest one step further. Haaland can't score that Rishi goal. If City would have gotten something against Newcastle, lol. Haaland, I think we've been saying it. Yesterday, I thought, well, we'll talk about it, right? Newcastle against Man City. I really thought they'd struggle up there. But it's a one-club City playing a one-man club, and one-man City won. Hey, Melina, all the other legends in the chat. Mortlicky Texas is here. I hope Antoine Semenyo Aguna watched Eze's performance in glory today. It could be you next season, Antoine, just saying. I'm still seeing us very heavily linked with Rodrigo, and I don't know who I prefer, but we can have that conversation when we're counting our silverware. Mofi, don't get that. Something else. Just happy with the Tifo. Oh, the Tifo. Oh, yeah, okay. It's something for everyone, isn't it? Boys' own magazine stuff for episode cannot fathom it, can you? He will not sleep. Any Arsenal player who scores against Spurs is automatically a legend in my eyes, but to score a hat-trick against them, ooh, I just wept myself. 78 last time it was done. 78. You think for the players that have been outstanding since then. So I knew Eze would be up for it today, but bloody hell. Idris Adam is here. Welcome. Now, Boitedia, emergency stream. Arteta got everything right. Emergency. Is there a single emergency stream happening? I saw somebody was doing an emergency celebration. Fine. Don't know if there's enough emergencies in life already. What happened yesterday's stream? Wasn't scheduled to do a stream yesterday. I was scheduled to do one on Friday, and I have had a social media embargo. I just felt, you know what it was? I was in London on Thursday. Friday was solid at work, and then I just thought, I'm not going to look at all of the people shouting at each other over who's going to win on Sunday. I'm not going to listen to all of the Spurs fans trying to shoehorn 5 or 6 of their players into a combined 11. I'm not going to listen to any more ranting and shouting. I'm not going to listen to the prayers of expressions. I'm not going to listen to the people who tell me that we'll wobble when we, that the Sunderland game was a sign of things to come. That we don't seem to be able to score from open play and all of that crap, and just wait for Sunday. Wait for Sunday at 4:30. Not get rolled up by anyone. Not get bothered by anyone. And so that is what I have done until this live stream where I'm amongst you again. And it's just fantastic. It is fantastic because it would almost be the purest satire if one or two of the Gluminati set up a show either tonight or tomorrow morning or anytime and start complaining about something, just something. Because even Yardman, when he was being interviewed, was like, yeah, this is good. I'm not going to lose my shit or anything. It's like, lose your shit, right? We just beat Tottenham. We're supposed to, yes, but we did. Great. Celebrate. I can't stress it. I can't put it any more powerfully. Games like this are an opportunity for your players to show you as a fan base that they care too, that they will go and get you the thing you want. And they did it today. And they didn't just steal it or snatch it. They conquered it. That game was never in doubt, was it? Were you sitting there at any point thinking, oh, you know what? Tottenham could mount a comeback. At 4 goals, I knew I was getting greedy. Wanting another couple, I knew I was getting greedy, and it didn't matter. I said before, get me I will take any victory at all, and that was even more because of what it does to the people who keep going on about how we're equal or they're champions of Europe, for God's sakes. Imagine having to put up with that. So the 4-1 win is everything. And there's a hat-trick when people had started to doubt him. People, it wasn't in a nasty way. No one's ready to go in on him. But I heard people saying on Friday and Thursday, have we seen enough of him? Has he delivered enough? He hasn't been that good. And I thought the points that he won us against Palace, I think he's an impact player for us. And a really interesting conversation that follows. Does Odegaard get straight back in? You're not rushing him back, are you? And what is our lineup against Bayern going to be like? All these questions and more. So scoreline reflected the gulf between the two sides. We put the filth firmly in their place. Lone Star Londoner, the cowboy philosopher. Yes, I agree. I think we knew there was. I mean, you could take a lot of, them talking about injuries. It's kind of fair. They have got a lot of injuries. But there's all this conversation about how, we're not that good. Tottenham are gaining on us and all of that. You didn't really feel it was true. But at the same time, go into this match and there's always more for us to lose than them, isn't there? They feel terrible, but they've gotten used to feeling terrible. They haven't won at that patch. In the Emirates has not seen a Tottenham win in the league will be 16 years if it happens next season. So we're all getting kind of used to winning that game. It's still a little bit jittery beforehand. But the gulf was there to see between those two sides. Friday is the day before yesterday. Eze, who's Eze? Thomas Frank 2025. I know, right? Quad is loading. I don't care about the quad. I was very worried about the Friday stream, Dan. Good. That's amazing. Don't know. Oh, no, someone gave the ball away. It's funny because Eze also gave... giving the ball away is not acceptable. I think Zubimendi is just going to do what Eze's done today. I don't think his is a more glamorous position. I don't think we need to see him that much. But I think I'd be hard pushed to find a player who played really badly for us today. But they will say it. They will call certain players out. When everyone's calmed down a little bit, and Tuesday to Thursday period, they'll start saying, "Well, it wasn't that good a game. Actually, we just got lucky having better players." But it is incredible to think there's such a shit manager with such shit players who doesn't know what he's doing has managed to pull off a 4-1 victory over Spurs, which is what we wanted. And then you'll get people, it's only Spurs. It's like, all right. So is Pep a failure for losing to Newcastle? I don't know, man. Like, why did Man City lose to Newcastle? I watched the game. I don't know. I think that at a certain point, one Man City, if he's not firing. Also, I just think the Northeast is a tough place to go. Not far for them, but it's just a hostile environment. I don't think all of City's players have gelled yet. I don't think they all know how to win a league. The core of the players he has may be aging a little bit. He did this whole eulogy about Bernardo Silva, and then Bernardo Silva basically had to be hooked off. Don't think Pep's 100% sure about his first team. Most players, it seems, need like a year with him before they flourish. And I'm not sure he'll be there at the end of next summer. I miss you on Friday. There was no stream. Arteta got so much heat for the Sunderland draw. Where's the reverse of that? Because the other managers aren't even winning this weekend. Yeah, there isn't going to be a reverse. There isn't going to be a reverse of it. We get a draw. It's the worst thing in the world. Think about what that means. Think about what people are feeling about us. Definitely feeling like we have potential to win. You're getting that, right? I mean, and are we actually looking at a world where Chelsea might be the closest contenders to the Premier League this season? Is it possible that it's a 2-horse race, but that the second horse in that race is one you would never have expected? I still think Man City, if they can perform how they performed the last 2 to 3 seasons, they have enough games that they can win. They can catch us. 7 points feels a lot, but it's 3 games. Things can go wrong. But one of the great things about tonight's performance is that was not the first 11. And, when you think of that the concern today was firepower, and then you go and put 4 past Tottenham, that your wall at the back, your main player, is not available. And the only goal that goes in is a kind of freakish goalkeeper off his line too far. But as to that, I know people will criticise David Raya, but one of my favourite quotes from Johan Cruyff was when he talked about his keeper coming out and being in position to play as that sort of sweeper keeper. And one of his coaches said, "Yeah, well, what if the opposition gets the ball?" And he goes, and then Johan Cruyff was like, "Well, they'll score a goal then, won't they?" But this is the principle that we play. We squeeze possession. I don't know if he needed to be out of his position. I'm not sure he felt he was out of position, but it was a fantastic finish by Old Pigeon. The slot machine is jammed and seemingly out of order indefinitely. I don't see him surviving it. There was a stat on Sky where they were talking about managers who had a similarly bad start to a season. And after winning the league, it's Chelsea and Leicester both struggled. But that led to the sackings of those managers. how do you keep your job right now, Arnie Slot? Then the very interesting question is, I understand everybody thinks he's just not the right man to get a tune out of this team. Not sure he's had a long enough chance yet. But who do you bring in? Who replaces Arne Slot? All these questions, please let me know the answers. Gluminati desperate to have something go wrong, talking up the Magalhaes injury like we haven't done that lost season with Kivior. Yeah, exactly. We did exactly that. And I think Mosquera and Hincapie both seem like upgrades on Jacob Kivior, a player who by the end I was quite a big fan of. We fear no one. Absolutely not. Easy as they like Sunday morning. Spurs fans are not doing emergency streams, they're doing meltdown streams. They could just drift downstream, can't they? Because they're done. Arteta went full bore, putting Capia into the local derby. It's over. There's no legs for Gluminati to stand up on anymore. It's one of those things, though, those kind of cults of being right all the time. They just twist things so they will right at the time. I saw this funny thing I saw was the roundabout, I think it was, where they had Lee Gunner and Northside LDN. And basically, somebody had the audacity to speak over Lee Gunner at one point. So they then let him. So he said, like, you're always talking over me. Everyone's always talking over me, which is not the impression I've ever had watching him on panel shows. And then they sort of let him talk for like 15 minutes. But it was all like, I predicted we wouldn't win the league last season. I've been predicting it right. He said, but yeah, I do know that it's true that he's been predicting we won't win the league, which is an odd and unnecessarily gloomy thing for any fan to do. But he does that, and that makes him right. But when he says we'll be put in a spliff expeditiously by Real Madrid, and we're not, he doesn't claim that he got that one wrong. If you get loads wrong on the way to getting one right, maybe you're not psychic. Maybe you're just stating the bleeding obvious. This season is our season, people. May I just be the first to congratulate Lone Star Londoner on the word for the day. Bosh! Let's win the frigging game. It's happened, Carl. Oh, have another round. I can't watch any stream of someone complaining. There's nothing to complain about. I can't get fake news. I can get fake news on TV. I can get fake news anywhere. I might do a section here called, look, it's last. Razor, 4-1, I'm loving it. It's been a great weekend for football. Skirt Lush, you want something that has been a great. And didn't your Bristol City champions beat a team from the Welsh regions or something? Did I misread that? Bloody good to see you, of course. They always complain because they have to stay in character. Bosh content. You do get pigeonholed. But it's just the ones who tell you just how shit Mikel Arteta is. He hasn't let me down yet. If he does, it'll be an epic problem from here. I really wanted the 3-0. I had money on 2-0 and I had money on 4-0. But I did good today. Disappointed we considered the goal to be fair. I want to know from Tottenham fans, is there any consolation in a consolation goal? Do you feel consoled? Would you have been tearing your hair out tonight thinking, what the hell is happening to me? I follow a cursed team. But then that consolation goal, then, but we, next time we just have to do that 4 more times and we'll win. No set piece goals. Do you know what? I don't mind people saying, we're too good from set pieces and not looking and then not noticing we're not, because it gives everything a bit of an aura. I swear I heard the crowd go up when Rice got his first corner. Not a set piece goal in sight. We had to score really beautiful goals today. What was your favourite? Very disappointing. No set. Razor standards, everyone. Arsenal seem to have laid the smack down. Got on with it. They got on with business, didn't they? They stood on business today. They got on with it. They just went there. Don't need to run your gums. Just go, play, win handsomely, celebrate, move on. Chelsea. I don't know what you do about a Bayern game on Tuesday. I know everyone's saying you have to win it. You don't have to win it. You could be really pragmatic. I don't know if I want Declan Rice playing that and the Chelsea game. Do you get where I'm coming from? Do we have any thoughts on that? Hi, Lone Star. Hi, I'm giving Miss Molina a cowboy voice. Sorry about that. I think our B team would beat COVID Arsenal. I hope. I'd like to see that. No, injuries aren't an excuse for Spurs. That would have been an excuse for us if we lost. They wouldn't have wanted to hear about Magalhaes or Odegaard or Havertz or Jesus. There's, we're getting to a point where Man City fans are complaining about decisions. Tottenham are practicing the dark arts against us, and then it fails to give them any kind of help whatsoever. All that time wasting, Vicario coming out and taking free kicks, basically all that industrial lump it up top football. What is the problem at Spurs? Because it's not Thomas Frank, is it? It can't be Thomas Frank because he inherited a team that nearly got relegated last season. Yes, they beat Man United in the Europa League. But come on, Man United. Question, Razor. Would Odegaard struggle to get back in the team if Eze is playing like this? Yeah. Tyrell, Gunner TV, big up. Massive elevations to you, sir. No one gets excuses. We're not afforded excuses. I know. Excuses are for losers, right? Malt Licky Texas. The Gluminati cannot be silenced. Misery loves company. They are also cliques and revenue to generate by peddling misery. And they don't know. That's the thing. They don't. It doesn't work because you get, not all views are worth the same amount of money. And if you're constantly negative, people don't want to give you advertising revenue. So they do actually, I don't necessarily think they always know they're doing it, but they're mostly costing themselves if this is all about, I think for a lot of them, it's just about being important and having people think your opinion matters. Hi, everyone. Thought Hincapie went under the radar today, had a solid game. Great to see you, Alicia. Yeah, I think that's what you wanted, though, isn't it? I definitely didn't want to. At the start of the game, I was a little bit worried briefly that we might have a Hincapie, Calafiori show, and he might do something daft. But he settled in. A couple of weird moments, but he settled in pretty well. I honestly thought that Hincapie had been brought in to fill that left back spot and that Calafiori would be the left centre back when you think he plays that position for Italy. It's quite mad, isn't it? Anthony Heber got some new cider for you, mate. It's called Gert Lush after you, sir. Thought it tastes Gerty or Lushy. Charles is here. Dan, how are you? But as content creators, why are people mixing up Eze talent and Odegaard qualities? Big up Eze all once, but in parallel, don't hate on Odegaard, who's been a mix of injuries. Yeah, exactly. Well, that's an excellent point, Charles, because just because you think one player might be better in a certain position, I'm not ruling. I don't know why you couldn't play both Eze and Odegaard ahead of Zubimendi and Rice. I don't know why that's not possible. It feels like it would be possible to me. And we may see it, and it might work or it might not. But at the moment, it's the fact that Odegaard's injured means it's a non-event question, isn't it? Like Eze's playing exactly where we needed him to play and bloody well. We also have Wanyeri, who I want to see more of. I think most of us do. Whether that extends to throwing him in against Bayern, I don't know. Let me know, guys. Spuds with 5 defenders and 2 DMs and still shipped 4. So true. And why? Why are they so poor? I think it'd be bittersweet if we win with Chelsea in second. Fuck 'em all. I think the chances of Chelsea being all the way there, I would have said were much lower. But Liverpool, honestly, when they lost to Crystal Palace and Chelsea, and you start thinking, it's bad, but it's not a disaster. People are very quick to talk about disasters, and but they are in a slump now, aren't they? You have to call this a crisis. I mean, much as you don't like to use the term, 12 games after somebody won the Premier League by 10 points, Arnie Slot has no love anywhere at the moment. Just give Arsenal a title. City also glitched. Yeah. I mean, City isn't the more surprising one. I honestly thought that City would get a draw against Newcastle. The fact they didn't just speaks to a little bit of a lack of effort, a little bit disjointed, a little bit tired still. And, Erling Haaland is the world's greatest striker. I don't think you can argue that at this point. He might not be pleasing on the eye, but he is incredibly impressive. Therefore, if you do shut him down, I don't know where the goals around him are. Reinders, I've expected more from. Marmouche hasn't settled in yet. Cherky. So I don't know. Man City are probably going to lose 2 or 3 more games before the end of the season, which means that they would be the first Premier League title winners to have done it, having lost more than 7 games. I just don't see it. Big up yourself, Jordan. Hope you're well. I'm glad Arteta got heat for the Sunderland result. It shows the Arsenal manager job is demanding and the standards are high. That's what it takes to win trophies. Yeah, there's lots of things it takes to win trophies. I think ultimately, if the manager isn't putting pressure on themselves, no external pressure is ever going to mean more. I do think Arteta puts a lot of pressure on himself. And sometimes I think that he gets judged for how calm he appears in press conferences. But you know what? Like, start watching Pep Guardiola's press conferences. They usually begin like this. He's just so done with it. I think Arteta's distracted by it. Pep's done with it. I think one man's more tired. Let him rest, City. Let him rest. Despite the obvious mistakes, Zubimendi was excellent today. He personifies patience, belief, and trust in our process. Won so many duels, passes. It's simple, always available, and wants the ball. Yeah, I got no problem with him. I'm on the hype train. I don't think today was his best performance, though. It's the minute. Liverpool maybe 11th. They're only 3 points off 4th and 4 behind City. They are 11 points behind us. That's a lot. It's not like you can't prove anything with it. It would just be my opinion. My opinion in terms of if City can maintain their current form, if we maintain ours, I still think they probably win the league, which is not a comfortable thing to say. I'm hoping that we can continue to overperform, but they've had some tough games, got them out of the way. The worry, I would say, if you're a City fan, is that losing 4 Premier League games is something that used to happen over a season, and now it's happening in the first quarter of the season. So there is something to that, isn't there? Like, you can't get away from that. This side is always being compared to previous City sides, and they tell you about the shark, the blue shark is circling. Well, that's a lesson to that blue shark, isn't it? Don't go in such cold waters, because Newcastle, that's cold, and like, we eat sharks. It's all good to predict when we're going to win the league, but we are going to win. You have to be able to predict that you're going to win. If you can't, then you never have the vision. Fair. Like, that kind of focus on what you're doing. Football managers will always share that single lie, which is, well, we just look at the next game. But I think in this case, I was myopically focused on the Spurs game. I just wanted to win. I wanted to win. I didn't think we were terrible against Sunderland. I don't think it's the worst result in the world to go away to the Northeast and get a draw. I agreed with myself then. I agree with myself now, Father. Zubimendi now knows what North London derby means. He should be fine for the next one. There might not be another one. They might just stay home, get a note. I don't think they want to come again. Look at that. Anthony, Wheels, Big Arms, Anthony Dipton, Shabbat, Earth Invader, Gert Lesh to you, my friend, my pal. Thank you so much. No adverts today. Sponsored by Earth Invader. Rice must play against Bayern. Different and more difficult test. Best 11, please. I don't know, I don't know if I need our best 11 out there. I'm not convinced I need our best 11 out there. Everyone wants to beat Bayern. So what? So what if we beat Bayern? I'd be happy with 0-0 draw. Put out a second string teams. We have a Chelsea game. We have to win. It's a 6. I know it's silly because I don't think Chelsea will last the distance. But next weekend, if they win and we don't, they're 3 points behind us. And we've lost 2 games in a season. And conceded goals. So what's going on? We have conceded goals in the last 2 games. Do you remember clean sheets? Bayern game will be a real test if we beat Bayern and Arteta is really building something special. I don't think it matters. Listen, Bayern game, if he wins it, great. Excellent. Nice day out. You have to look at the relevancy of these games. Would you put out your first 11, most of whom played today, and get an injury to one of them and then go to Chelsea? Let's say we lose the game against Bayern. We're still going to qualify without having to play that next round game. Come on, we are. We know we are. The Bayern game is not the game that we need to win because we've done a really good job anyway. The lads have done a very good job of putting us in a position where the Bayern game doesn't really matter. We'll play Club Brugge away. What's the other one? K-Rat. Come on, man. K-Rat at home. We're already on 12 points. 15 to do it. So I don't really care what he does against Bayern. But is that a hear me now? Sorry, hear me out. Surely Zubi Rice is our best midfield three at the moment, no question. Nketiah is a prime-time defender. I really like him from the little I've seen of him. I don't want to, I can't predict too much. I'm worried about Odegaard getting back into the team on merit. Competition for places in the team is good. I wouldn't worry about that. I wouldn't worry about it at all. Everyone knows how, if you're in a good team, everyone is playing. Everyone knows that they're there, that they can't be there if they're not there on merit. Rice's comments about captains in the team was interesting. Excuse me. I think that, there are players out there that are forming up. The Newcastle Goon squad midfield is good. Yep. I'll give you that. Dodged a bullet by not signing Isak, didn't we? Didn't we? Jesus. What has happened there? What's happened across the board with Liverpool? Bruno, Joe Linton and Tonali. I've been saying for a while, I'm not convinced with those City signings. It's irrelevant to me how spooked everyone is by the names in their team. Yeah. Yeah. Different rules apply to different teams. I will say Man City, everyone has been talking up their signings. Doku, listen, don't get me wrong. Doku and Erling Haaland, if they continue this season as they've started it, they're going to be right up there. But they're beatable now, and they just didn't used to be this beatable. We're not as beatable. We did not drop points today. The pressure, I think, was off a little bit. I think it might have been, but do you know what? I'm talking about how the game would have been different if there'd been more pressure on the team. Be honest, when they came out tonight, did it look like they were under any pressure at all? They just got on with business. There's no flapping around from these guys. They are getting good. We are watching them get good. And all the people say, oh, it's been boring. Was tonight boring? Because I didn't think tonight was boring. I thought tonight was outstanding. Thank you, everyone who took to the field. Reinder's frankly not as good as people think. Well, you know what? I think he is good. What I think he's good at is box crashing, and he's skillful running with the ball. He's the kind of player I like. People aren't really giving anyone long enough to settle into a single team, are they? I did see the Yardman interview, and he was talking about how he wasn't going to go crazy because we still haven't won anything, etc., etc. He's a mad old uncle that you try not to talk to a family do. Yardman had to wear a straitjacket during the match to prevent himself from celebrating. That's a very good comment indeed. Liverpool's form is horrendous. They are 11th. Exactly. They're out of the title race. I'm calling it. It would be a miracle, because it's one thing to say that technically they could still overhaul an 11-point gap. Of course they can. We lose 4 games. They don't lose a single game. They win. But they've lost, 7 games already? Liverpool have now lost 6 games. My apologies. 6 games. 7 is the most any team's ever won the Premier League with. And there's a reason for that. I pissed in the water. That shark is choking on my vinegar right now. That shark. They want to be more relevant than they are. They did get some decisions go against them yesterday in the Northeast. It is always challenging up there. I think the crowd played their part in it. But Man City can you imagine anything more ridiculous than Man City fans wanting sympathy for a VAR decision or a decision that didn't go their way? No idea what they're talking about. Spurs got stuffed like my Thanksgiving turkey. Delicious. Spurs took a pineapple up the different way of putting it. I was particularly happy with Rice giving shit at the end. Oh, I love. Who was he standing over when he's like, get up? He, to me, felt a reincarnation of Tony Adams. He was channeling Tony Adams. Fucking love it. Cole with, in my honest opinion, Chelsea's more important than the Bayern game, considering where we are in the UCL table. 100%. 100%. And then you tell them that and they want to shut you up and shut you down. That's the truth. Yeah, listen, vanity has no part to play this season. We lose to Bayern and we qualify and we take you up with the next rounds, right? We lose to Chelsea. It's a 6-point swing. A draw against Chelsea, I can live with. Defeat to Chelsea, no, I can't deal with. Is it double standards when we go draw at the Northeast? The world is about to fall apart. City lose and it's fine media cricket. Yeah, listen, you know that you've rattled them when you're all they talk about. They only talk about us. And the shit they say is deeply ridiculous a lot of the time. You know, only score from set pieces. Were you watching today? Yeah. Well, you know, apart from when you don't. Okay. Eze hasn't really worked out how you wanted him to, has he? Has now. He has now. I don't think he was a waste of money now. How you getting on with your Florian Wirtz? I was delighted for Trossard after he scored today. He's such an underrated player. Some Arsenal supporters wanted him sold before the season started. Mortlicky, Texas. I was one of them. I wanted him gone. I didn't think he still cared, but he looks like he cares, and I'm glad he's still here. Weird thing they did though, just paying him more money, but every passing minute of every passing game, it looks like they made the right decision. Somebody knew what they were doing. He looks like a leader in that group. Indeed, I'd like to see Liverpool and City get even half the stick we do. I think there are teams out there. I'm not saying this to be trivial. I think there are teams out there who would love to get the stick we get, to be mentioned like we get mentioned. I was delighted for Trossard after he scored today. He was an underrated... Oh, I've just read that. Barman sounds dizzy. Best 11 must play against Bayern. This is elite football. We don't pick and choose games we want to win and lose, and it's certainly not against the best in Europe. Lone Star, that's kind of like that's a hallmark card version of, you know, we don't rest anyone. Look, they're athletes. If you want to get the best performance out of them, then they have the perfect amount of rest. If you're gonna play Saliba full match, Declan Rice full match, Bukayo Saka full match, what are you going to do against Chelsea? What if you could only win one of those two games? Why would you choose the Bayern game over the Chelsea game? Obviously, I could say we want to get both victories. We want to win every game, but you use your resources. At the moment, Sunday night, Monday off, Tuesday light training, Bayern already in it. Saka, Declan Rice, Saliba, just going to play them all through. Eze, everybody play as they were. You're going to make any changes. You've got to make some changes eventually, because then there won't be that much rest until we're at Chelsea, and that they will make that game tough for us. There'll be a cup final for them. Like, this should have been a cup final for Spurs. Well, it kind of was a cup final for Spurs because they fucking did terribly. But Newcastle are inconsistent, great against the top six. Newcastle, I want to know, if Eddie Howe had lost that, how many people would be talking about whether his time was coming to an end? Although the whispers of that have begun, and I don't want to stoke the fires, but I do think it's difficult to understand why Mikel Arteta could be top of the league and people talk about sacking him and Eddie Howe isn't. We controlled the whole match. Yep. Pretty damn much. Rangers is very good, but it has yet to settle. I agree. Emilani had far more freedom, or a lot, I should say. I saw a post by a Twitter troll. Apparently, Nani is 007 now. Nonny. Oh, right. Okay. Let other people worry about it. O'Hara reckons... I did see this. This did crack me up. Because it's so much chest. O'Hara reckons Son Kane Bell is better than any Arsenal 3. Yeah. Good for him, man. Vader. Calling it a night. This is going to be a short show tonight, guys, because I am so sleepy. But of course, you can't not celebrate the North London derby. I want to know if Nafe's in, because he would have been there. Limbs akimbo. Buddy, we expect to win both games. We don't rest professionals. That's your imagination. Thanks are tired. Yeah, no, I'm talking about fatigue injuries from muscles which don't rest long enough. It's all brilliant to be, read a David Goggins and go, we don't stop for anyone. But, like we do, because the team that we're going to be playing in Chelsea will have had more fit players available. And it's a marathon. Don't sprint. Like, winning both games is great. But if you could only win one game, which is the hypothetical premise of the question, which would you choose? I can't see anyone choosing the Bayern game. Noni can be... I don't care either. He didn't cost 100 million. Weekends like this is what it's all about. It really is. It felt good. I mean, Chelsea winning, I thought, this is going to be one of those days. Chelsea will win, Liverpool will win. Tomorrow, Man City will round the evening off with a comfortable away win. Shows how it's done. None of those things happened. Well, Chelsea won, obviously. But... I didn't think they look good. If they are the challengers this season, I'm not super worried. Yes. Well, it's a good lineup. So does anyone else agree that we'd have to play really well against Bayern and Chelsea? Well, I'm going to invite anyone who wants to come up and have their say. Obviously, I did a bit of cheering today. I don't know if that was obvious, but my throat is absolutely at its worst. If anyone wants to come up here and talk it through, maybe do some therapy for any. Oh, look, I spent dinner enjoying the rantings from Spurs fans on social media. It is a strange elixir, isn't it? I haven't done all that. I intend to do that after the show. Zanzibar Barbarian, please come to the center stage. Center stage for Zanzibar Barbarian. How goes it?
Yeah, well, yeah. Villa beat Leeds, didn't they? Can't think what else happened really.
I tuned into that because I thought it was 2-2, and I tuned in to see the equaliser, and it was VAR'd out. We didn't have any problems with the referee, did we?
Thankfully, no.
I think he couldn't decide which team he disliked more.
It's probably us still.
I would imagine so. I'd be disappointed if anyone hated them more than us. They are tawdry and insignificant.
And we did take Malcolm McDonald from Newcastle. And he's a Newcastle boy, isn't he? Allegedly.
That's good. That's going back in time. Like you'll have me paying reparations next.
Yeah. Even though Man City owners pay him copious amounts of money to manage referee games in the Far East.
Yeah.
Of course, there's no conflicts of interest there whatsoever. Just the fact he's never sent off a Man City player in any game.
I did find it funny because I listened to Typical City and he had a little bit of a whinge about decision. He goes, Man City aren't allowed to whinge. If we whinge about something, people always go, oh, but then, I think it's because, they wanted the credit for never whinging about referees when it was patently obvious it's because nothing bad ever happened to them. And now that something bad has happened, they've started whinging at referees saying, oh, we're entitled to whinge at referees because everyone else has. It's like, no. Like, just today, Man City, they can wake up to a day where they're not necessarily the most loved team from pundits and referees. They'll have to figure out a way to cope.
Well, we haven't been the pundits' friends from as far back as I can remember. So
I'm a fisherman's
friend. They're actually quite nice, fishermen's friends, huh?
I've heard that, but I thought not to try myself. Here we go. Malt Licky, Texas. We need the Premier League momentum going by beating Chelsea. It's more important than the Bayern game. I think so.
Yep, so do I.
I'm glad it's not just me, but I do kind of think it's easy to say you should just give 100% every day. There's a point where, they are. It really annoyed me when Gary Lineker and Alan Shearer said, in my day, I used to play every game. So, okay, fewer games in Europe to start with, weren't there, though? And the game was played at a lower pace. So there wasn't the same pressure on. I mean, you can see it everywhere. Look at the injuries every team's having. It's okay to say that we have to rest some players.
It's funny, actually. I was thinking about all these injuries and stuff like that. And you look at the players' legs now compared to what they used to be like 30 years ago. And you can see that they really have bulked up in the muscles.
Yeah.
But bulking up muscles is one thing, but the cartilage and tendon can get stronger, but it takes longer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of really interesting studies done into the effect of young players playing too much football from the age of 8. Like Saka's been at Arsenal since he was 8 years old. And I would make it, hear me out. I'm saying that he's probably physically fit, but there are still times people could become mentally fatigued. And if you're tired, you have more injuries. You twist, you slight delay in action, stuff like that. So all I'm saying is it wouldn't surprise me if we use the Bayern game to rest some players and get some minutes into players who need to play. Because if we win that game, great. But it doesn't really mean anything. As long as we beat Chiarte, we go through anyway. So if we lose tomorrow, Kirake, what are they called?
Kairat or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know how you pronounce it.
Chiarte.
Yeah, that'll do. Kairat.
Yeah.
No, if I say, you know what? Like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say Chiarte from now on, and everyone's just going to assume I might know, and then they will start calling it Chiarte.
yeah. It's funny actually. You know, Colliston changes, or Coles 42 changes name Colliston. I was looking at that, thinking it actually sounds like a medicine now.
It does. Have you taken your Colliston 42?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be sitting here if I hadn't.
Yeah.
Right.
But then I was also thinking about fitness and stuff like that, and I was thinking, if you look at people who take part in the Tour de France, if you see a cyclist who's a professional cyclist, their legs are absolutely fucking huge.
Yeah.
But you don't really hear much about them getting strains and stuff like that, do you?
The reason for that, though, is because it's one pretty uniform action. It's like swimmers. The thing is, with impact of sport like football, you jump, you land on your knee, you twist, you turn. If you looked at the goal that that Trossard scores today, is a twist. All of that will have impact if you're doing it at speed on your joints. And good recovery time is the only way to prevent repeated injuries. So I'm no sports scientist, so I hope I'm not trying to sound like one. But what I'd say is let's leave it to the experts. But I think part of that is just if the sports scientists say, look, we're going to rest Rice, this is how many minutes you should play everybody, and we do it, you always get the angry fans coming out going, he's thrown away, doesn't care about the Champions League. It's like, I think the first 4 games, we haven't conceded a goal. We've scored 12 points. We've gained 12 points, So I think we can just do the work, relax, rather than just go out there and prove we can beat Bayern. Because beating Bayern doesn't mean anything. Paris Saint-Germain lost to us last season. It didn't stop them winning the Champions League. Henry Reid's tweets had a funny reaction video to the game today. He weren't happy. Almost felt sorry for him. Almost. This takes our momentum to peak settings. It really does. We got challenged. We were tested. Sunderland put a little spanner in the works. We had to listen to an international break full of blue sharks and, Liverpool's refound, come back. Liverpool getting turned over 3-0 at home by Forest is something that should just not be happening.
No.
What, did you watch that one?
No, but I watched the highlights on the BBC website, and you get, as I say, you get about 8 minutes worth of highlights, a lot more than you get on Match of the Day. Liverpool look really out of sorts. Good going forwards, can't put the ball in the back of the net, but as soon as Forest attack, they think, "Oh, what do we do? What do we do?"
I mean, I think most people flagged that Liverpool had not focused enough on their back line. They bought the kid who's injured with an anterior cruciate ligament injury. Konate just doesn't want to be there, does he? He's just walking around like whatever. People saying now that he was smirking when he was subbed. I don't know, man. Like it must be an embarrassing environment to be in. Only children decide Champions League games are unimportant. We are Arsenal. Every game is important. Yeah, well, so we should win every game. But we're back. I feel like we're coming back to the same point I made originally, which is if you have a racehorse, a pedigree racehorse, you tend not to enter into 3 races in a week. Just true. Like, I don't know why we can't think of human beings at least as valuable as racehorses. I'm just saying. This is why it annoyed me when Gary Lineker and Alan Shearer saying, "Well, I played every hour, every minute of a day," but you wouldn't play it very well, would you? This is a really important game. Like, we want people to be at their best for 90 minutes. I don't want to watch 2 tired teams trudging it around. I want to see people at the peak of their performance. That, I think, is why we have a 25-man squad these days. Playing Champions League, Premier League, Champions League, Premier League is so draining, so tiring. Look what it does to teams like Villa. Look what it did to Newcastle. Most teams are really struggling to play both. International breaks have a more detrimental effect on the bigger teams. It's all, in the end, it all is about minutes in legs and time spent playing and rest and recuperation. Good athletic training requires good resting. I'm sure I read that somewhere, or I just made it up. It wasn't just a North London derby. It was a demolition derby. Well said. That's probably my now new favourite comment of the day. That's all right. In their day, they used to go to the pub on a Thursday. Yeah. Lone Star Under, I get you, but more important than does mean other game is unimportant. Yeah, exactly. It's not me saying I don't want to win against Bayern. It's me saying, what do I get if I win against Bayern? Right, I've got that already. What do I get if I beat Chelsea? Fine. What if you need to win every match? Yeah, who's winning every match? Is anyone out there winning every match? If that's the standard that we're being held to, then
we've already failed.
We have. You don't win every match,
Because we lost to Liverpool, didn't we?
And we drew away to Sunderland, which is when our season was
Man City.
And we drew at home to Man City, and it was only the deftest touch by a magician of a left winger that bailed us on that day. I don't know why it's always so difficult to come out and say I would play a second string team against them. I would give Declan Rice a rest now.
Yeah, I'll put in I was going to say, ooh, I shrunk. Drop Marino back into midfield.
Mm-hmm.
Probably put Martinelli up front or Trossard up front with Madueke. Those three. Right back would have White. Same back two as we had today, and have MLS left back. I
don't mind if he plays Wanyeri. I haven't got a big problem with.
Ethan, of course. Yeah, I forgot about Ethan.
Yeah, I mean, like I would just be resting some players for Chelsea. And again, sometimes that bounces back as well. Sometimes, look, honestly, I think there is a difference in Champions League games because I think all the players. I really felt thinking about this before the lineups were announced. One of the things I was really thinking is, I think Gyökeres would do everything to be fit for this game. So if he's not playing, he's just not fit. But it feels like we've got players who want to play these big games. Bayern is one of those games I think they'll want to play. We ain't resting no one. So we are resting someone. Who is it we're resting? Grow up. What? Where did you get grow up from? I think I'm being the more adult, actually. Hello, Dan. Eze. He was so Eze, but big up Trossard. I wanted him out last transfer. Proved me wrong. What player? I think we were talking about that a little while ago. I was on the same plane. I was flying to the same destination. I had landed. I was walking through Czech. I honestly thought he was gone, and I wasn't sorry about it. Ever since that no celebration against Aston Villa. But shows what I know, eh?
He's come back really good this season, so fair play to him.
Like he wants to be there. He had that weird pay rise that didn't make any sense, and available over the counter. Avoid heavy machinery. Rice is our Rodri. Keep him safe. Yeah, I mean, I think there are just games you have to rest people. Arsenal kicking ass and taking names. Yes, they are. Betty Ogden says, Lone Star under easy, lol. No one said we are resting. We're just saying the Chelsea game is more important. Yeah. No, it isn't. Every game is equally important. That's not true, though, is it? Every game cannot be equally important. Let's not pretend it is.
No, I mean, the game against Crystal Palace isn't as important as a league match or a Champions League match.
If you ask me, League Cup game against Crystal Palace, you can win that to go through to the next round, or the equivalent second round game that we play in the Champions League. I'd always progress in the Champions League over the League Cup. But the home game against Tottenham in the North London derby is considerably more important than the away game at Sunderland. I don't care what anyone tries to tell me. Every game is important. I think where we're getting wrong is this just seems like a logic puzzle at the moment. Nobody's saying we think all of the games are important, but we think some are more important than others. Can we just have it as that? Like, I'm not saying that there's any games I want them to have a lads' night out before. I'm not saying, do you know what? Like, just sack that off. Turn up if you want to. You can play in boots. No, I'm saying, obviously we want to win every game. We've got 25 people in the squad, and people who really want to play might be fatigued for the games where we really need them more. Bayern Munich, if we lose that game, nothing bad will happen. If we lose the Chelsea game, it's a 6-point swing. Matters, man. It matters. Of course it matters. I'll let Mikel determine that. Exactly. This is what we got to do anyway, isn't it? Children's fan TV. I don't think there's any point in getting pissed off about something as trivial as that. I'm honestly still vexed. 1 draw, half the fan base implode. What are we actually doing here? I don't know. I haven't made a sensible point, Barman. I think I have. I think I've said that I don't care. Right, I know I've said this, actually. I'll say it again. I don't care who he puts out against Bayern. I would quite like to see him rest some of the players who have not had enough rest so that they don't end up injuring themselves for months when we need them more. I think Bayern will not necessarily be a season-defining game, whereas Chelsea might be, because, put it bluntly, they beat us and go on a bit of a squirrely run and we lose a couple of points. They go to the top of the table. Our fan base will not be strong. I wonder if Slot has lost the dressing room. He's thrown a couple of players under the bus, maybe too open for the media. I don't know. Something happened in the close season, didn't it? It might even be something as dark as, he might not have handled the Diogo Jota passing with enough tact. You get a team and then suddenly, half the team comes in as different. I don't know. There's a lot of pressure in keeping a football team functioning at the highest level, and I think he's bitten off more than he can chew this season. What do you think, Zanzi?
Yeah, I mean, I found it odd because I can't remember who he took off, but then he put on that sort of like that 18-year-old, didn't they? Yeah.
I mean, the substitutions were a bit all over the place, but I think by then it was just nothing was going to work anyway.
Yeah, it all goes back to the start of the season when Liverpool were chucking all the money towards the front attacking players. And I was looking at their back lineup thinking, that's not good enough.
Yeah, I mean, they went in for... that's a fact because they went in for Gahey. If they thought their back line was good enough, they wouldn't have needed Gahey. And then that didn't go through. And I did think, they brought Frimpong in to cover for Trent Alexander-Arnold. But that was the area that I thought they looked weakest in. Sometimes it's obvious to us and it just doesn't seem to matter to... Arne Slot is being given the characteristic now of just wanting to play attacking football, not caring how many they concede, but they are conceding all over the place. They're in minus goal difference after 12 games played.
Yeah, -2 now.
Yeah.
And we are the leading goal scorers joint with Man City.
Yeah, because of today, yeah. But obviously I have much better goal difference. Rice showing that shithousery nasty side really made me happy, and me. I didn't put my score predictions for Spurs. I went for 4-1. I think the rest of us went for 4-1, actually, AJ. So I try MLS in midfield. I don't know if I would. Well, for the Bayern game. See, Gyökeres being back would answer a question because you could rest somebody. But we do have to start thinking about resting people. We've got a lot of games coming up. It is the Christmas period. We're built to win everything, lol. Then we can play our second string against Bayern and get a result.
I can't remember who, watching the game today, when Trossard scored and they went to our people on the bench and those just behind the bench, and Gabriel was strangling someone to his right. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah. It's in I did a little musical video for it, which I'll release tonight. But yeah, there's the scene. It's like Muppets going crazy. I loved it. Bring in other players, throwing the game as we have qualified ×2 in every position. I'd say bringing the other players against Bayern is tough because Bayern is such a it's such a, what do you call it, marquee game, isn't it? Like Arsenal Bayern. But if it was a meaningless friendly that was chucked in between Tottenham at home and Chelsea away, you probably wouldn't expect to play a full string side. And whilst I'm not saying the Champions League is a friendly, I'm saying I fancy us to get 3 points from either Club Brugge away or, what did I say I was going to call him? Kiaki. Kyrate Kiaki. Ikiwa Koko Akako. So I think we're qualified. We won't have to play the extra game. It's just vanity if you finish first, second, third, or eighth in that league, or that part of the league. Leave MLS experimentation for the Carabao Cup. I hope I'm going to that Palace game. I hope that's not our last one. Get the violin out. Get the fiddle out. Not every game in the UCL is going to be important. Don't need to win every game to qualify. Well, that's how I feel. I don't think that's controversial. I don't think that's childish. This lad thinks he's a sports scientist. Yeah. If you mean me, what I already said is I'm definitely no sports scientist. Bless you, though. Look who it is. It's Positive Dan. Nah. Mobster. There we go. Give him Rice a rest. Comedy Club. Yeah, actually, no, you're right. Lone Star, he should play every minute of every game forever. Never rest anyone. If you want to take a rest, though, you can. Rice can come off the bench if necessary against... Exactly. Maybe Dowman should miss school and Lone Star. When you say miss school like that, that's not good. Do you know what? Lone Star, you're either in a good mood or you're not. If you're not, tell your story walking. Honestly, because it ain't a day for it. Lone Star, are you off your rocker tonight? Someone skimp. Yeah, I think someone either has put something in his drink or not enough in his drink. Right. So, tell you what, though. Rotation is a blessing we haven't had. You can't keep criticising Arteta for not rotating and then effectively criticise him every time he rotates. Benny Ogden, Malta Texas, maybe some sort of December, according to a German manager. What was that? So, true, we will rotate. We have a squad, but our best 11 available against Bayern, please. Okay, now I just think, do you know when someone feels like they're being argumentative for the sake of it? I hope that's not what's happening here. True, we will rotate. We have a squad, but our best available 11. Then we've been saying the same thing the whole time. I'm saying I wouldn't play the same starting 11 that played tonight. I play my best 11 who were fit enough for the game. If we're agreeing, then good. Didn't have to... Oi, there he is. I think, was he at the game? Yes, he was. Clock Enders. Good to see you. Arteta has pissed himself laughing. How was it? You were there, I'm assuming. Love the new name as well. Arteta seems very relaxed in press conferences. I don't know. Like when someone feels really relaxed, you know, strong is weak and weak is strong. Sometimes I look at it and I think Pep doesn't want to be in another press conference. Arne Slot is just talking shit now. There's a point where you just think, I don't need to hear from him if they're going to talk drivel.
I'd tell you someone who was talking drivel last night, and that was most of the BBC commentators. Because you know when it was Chelsea, wasn't it, on their first goal, I think, and it was their left back, the little Cucurella. Yeah. And you can see that the ball bounced off his hand in the penalty area.
Yeah.
And the commentator said, well, I couldn't see it hit his hand. I was thinking, well, it did. And then what was the other one? That was it. It was when Brighton, the player put the ball across for I was going to say Relard. I don't mean Relard, do I?
Oh, I know you mean. Welbeck.
Welbeck, yeah, to score.
Yeah.
And he said, oh, he put it right on Welbeck's foot. I said, no, he didn't. Welbeck ran past the other player, stuck his leg out to get the ball into the back of the net.
That's another you're welcome. I mean, Brighton are a good team. There's something not quite gelling there at the moment. But who knows with this league? Like, consistent teams are going to do really well this season. I don't really listen to a lot of commentary or punditry anymore. I don't. I've kind of lost the point of this. I thought today was all right on the Sky, but generally speaking, even the missus was having a problem with Gary Neville at one point. It was like,
oh yeah,
does he always talk this much shit? And I was like, some people have said that. Yeah, some people have made that accusation. Arteta looks like a man who's never relaxed. I don't get it. What was the debate about? What? Oi. Thoughts on the Tifo? Wanted to know thoughts on the Tifo. Also, I think the biggest debate so far has been whether we need to play a full-strength team or our first 11 as it was tonight against Bayern. Are some players in need of a rest? Rest players for Bayern because Chelsea more important is the debate. Daft, really. Okay, well, let's break it down to its essential component. Do you think that the Bayern game or the Chelsea game is more important for our league season? For our season. What do you think is a more important game?
Considering that we only have to finish in the top 8 in the league, Champions League, we have to finish first in the Premier.
Yeah, I mean, let me put it to a different way. If we had qualified already and we knew that we could lose 10-0 and it wouldn't make any difference, and we had a really big game coming up on Sunday, wouldn't you naturally think we would play a different team? I mean, that is kind of what we're looking at. We could afford to lose against Bayern. It won't make any difference at all. It was electric. Of course, it was electric. One of those there'll be like 100,000 people who said they were there. We could afford to draw against Bayern, not against Chelsea. That's the simple logic I'm using. Each of Eze's goals today were outstanding, so calm. Just seemed to have so much time under pressure. Yeah, really good. Just to really... Do you know what? I think that the manifesting he does, and obviously he's a spiritual person, and then the concentration and the reflection and the forward framing, whatever you want to call it, man. Like, it does that calm, that confidence, that under pressure, that he believed in himself today. And God, if Emil Smith Rowe could have had a portion of that, maybe Eze learned it from rejection and from struggle. It
was just so perfect that Eze scored, and it was Dan. I don't know. I was going to say it was so perfect that Eze scored, and it's absolutely amazing that he scored the hat trick against the team that he was almost joining 24 hours before.
I can't process it. I'm just not able to process it. Sorry. It's like, I had a bet on 2-0 to Arsenal in the first half. The way the half was playing out, I thought it might be a bit more stolid. It might be it just burst into life. And they never had an answer for it. It was just punches landing without response. And there was a little spell after Richarlison's goal where they looked like... I thought there was so much I didn't understand about the fact that he dropped Xavi Simons, who I still think you have to stick with him. He's the only creative player they've got, really. But they just didn't. They didn't. I don't know what it was. You know what? It's Arne Slot's halftime team talk against Forest. Look, guys, we're 1-0 down. They go out and within a minute they're already 2-0 down. You think, what was in that team talk? What was he saying? Maybe say something completely different next time. But I think I saw a similar thing today with Thomas Frank. I don't know if the players have bought into it yet.
Oh, yeah. By the way, lads, the second half actually started a minute ago and we've already conceded.
Yeah. Well, that's put that in play. Get out there and concede another goal really quickly so I can be even angrier. Rice will be rested, but not against Bayern. Just an opinion. No, listen, I'm not here to say that I think you're wrong. Like, I don't know what Arteta's going to do. But look at it from both sides of the argument. If he does play Saka, he does play Rice, he does play Saliba, he does play the core, that he doesn't seem to ever want to drop. And that started to include Trossard. If he plays these players and they're fit against Chelsea, that's all right. But we need a performance against Chelsea. That's another statement win. If we can play Spurs and batter them and Chelsea and batter them in a week, that is not the kind of team that you'd be as likely to crumble, I would say. I bet good money you'll see a slightly different lineup for Bayern. He trusts all of them and all of them are up for it and capable of slotting in when needed. That is the hope. 100% hope that, because, if we're saying... If he drops Rice and he brings Norgard in and Norgard has the game of his life, I know that Rice is a far better player than Norgard. I'm not trying to say he isn't. Or Zubimendi, who's another player that could probably do with some rest. I mean, you think that Saka and Rice have not just played, but they played for England as well. It's just annoying. Chelsea game more important, says Miss Molina. That settles that. Just opinions and live debate. I absolutely agree. I love it when we disagree on stuff, knowing that we're at the core, they're just differences of opinion. What we have in common is much more important than the things that we disagree on. I like the old Sky thing where you turn a commentary off, have hilariously bad fan call. I used to love that. That was one of my favorite ones ever. Was watching I can't even remember what the game was, but it was they had young kids that had won a competition to come in it, and the junior Gooner commentator said, "That's just subliminal." I just thought it's a beautiful misuse of a word, but it does work. That's just subliminal. Eze scoring a hat-trick today was written in the stars. Talk about rubbing salt in the wound after rejecting Spurs. I mean,
yeah.
It doesn't... How does it get worse for Spurs? I do just want to listen. I'm reaching out. I'm extending an olive branch right? Just saying. Does it feel like a consolation that Richarlison scored? Because they always call them, don't they? Consolation goals. Is that making it easier? You know, will you be able to show your faces at work, at school?
I wonder how many Spurs fans were sitting in the stadium today with their arms crossed, thinking, "Fucking hell, we almost got Eze."
Couldn't have escaped the notice, could it? I bet there's another contingency of that stupid team's fan base that is heading to outside the stadium another bucket of paint. I totally disagree, Miss M. It's very likely Rice doesn't get rested at all this season and he plays every match. Ouch. He's got to play a World Cup as well, don't forget. Doubt that, but he would be rested, but he won't be rested against Bayern. I think if we needed the points, if it was a quarterfinal, semi-final, that's different, but it isn't. Remember all of them planks moaning about Trossard? I told you, what a player, what a player. That was a fucking brilliant goal. Like, I love Trossard at the moment. Can't get enough. Methinks Bayern are a way better team than Chelsea. I don't know if that's relevant. Like, honestly, I think you're kind of. I know you heard me, but what do we get for beating Bayern? Fuck all. We get 3 points that we don't really need if we're going to win one of our 2 last games anyway. And we also get a lapel badge saying, "Oh, we beat Bayern." We beat Chelsea. If we beat Chelsea, they're our closest rivals at the moment. If we go to the bridge and beat them, there's no one near us.
We beat Chelsea. We're 9 points ahead of them.
That's what I'm saying. We lose. We're 3 points behind.
Yeah.
So, actually, Lone Star, I'd put it to you a different way. I'd say if the Bayern game was a dead rubber and there's no way we could qualify anyway, it makes no sense to play top players against it. But equally, if we've already won the league, is it okay to play players that we can still lose and not care? You know, if you've already won the league and there's 4 games to go and you've got a cup final and you want to rest some players, is it all right to put out second string players for games that doesn't matter? Because effectively that's what this Bayern game is. I don't know what you think you get for winning it. There's nothing that we could get from winning a game against Bayern that we won't get weeks later against one of 2 other teams. I just don't. And even I think 12 will be enough to qualify, even if we just, I just don't get what you get out of beating Bayern. And they are an on-form team in Europe at the moment. They're not silly. Tottenham are like Coldplay, fucking Good save. It's not the knockout rounds of the UCL, bro. Exactly. It just doesn't. It is utterly pointless to keep saying the same thing. But if we lose 4-0, we wake up the next day, we'll still qualify top 8, and we'll and we can just put it behind us like Paris Saint-Germain put losing to us behind them. And the signings plus the fact we were looking for left winger seems to have lit fire under Trossard and Martinelli's backsides. Definitely has. Obviously, Chelsea is the bigger game. Yeah, facts. True, and Chelsea ain't as good as Bayern. Bayern might not be trying as hard as you think they're going to. I don't think they're coming over here. It's just one of those things. Chelsea are a very dangerous team because they're very unpredictable, a bit like Newcastle on their day. They can beat anyone. And they'll be up for us. They will be at it for us. Stamford Bridge will be electric. We've had some tough games there already. You know, we've been better than them for some time, but it doesn't mean we beat them whenever we, I fucking hate Coldplay. We start a stream. I start Madueke against Chelsea. Oh. Not sure.
Where?
I don't know how fit Madueke is. I would like to start the best players we have. I would like to play Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, William Saliba, Zubimendi. I'd like to play all of those players, please. So I'd like them 100% fit. And if Declan Rice twists his knee playing against Bayern, it will piss me off because you think, well, Bayern's a game, it didn't matter. It doesn't matter. We've qualified. We won the first 4 games. Imagine if this was the standard Champions League group stages. We've qualified. None of the other teams could do better than us. It didn't matter who you played in, does it? If this was that format, Lone Star, if we were still playing the old format of the league, Champions League, and you had 4 teams in a group and they had to play each other twice, 6 games. If we'd already played 4 games and got 12 points. Would you care who we played against, Bayern or Barcelona or Real Madrid or God Select 11? I love when we debate and disagree when we all know I'm completely right. Just opinions, try not to get emotional, definitely. But to my point, I mean, would you take that? Would you accept that if we were playing in the Champions League like it was last season, that just, we've already qualified, it doesn't matter? Because I remember going to a Champions League game at Estadio del Alpi. It must have been I can't remember. I'd have to guess it would have been around 99. Anyway, but Juventus fans didn't turn up because they'd already qualified. And we didn't qualify because we couldn't even beat a Juventus team without any fans in front of them. And then we had, anyway. I love when it's all about the words you choose to use. Very true. We had a good chat and then agreed I was right, Brian Clough. Thanks for that insight, BX. So ultimately, I think the biggest part of these debates that is silly is we're all debating it. Arteta will choose. Single most important factor in Arsenal winning the Premier League this season is injury prevention for key players.
Yep.
Yeah. We are not. I mean, we're not going to lose Gabriel, I don't think, for a long trot. So that's good news. Jesus is coming back slowly. Kai Havertz, Odegaard, Martinelli, and Madueke on the bench already. We're starting to patch up some of our injury crisis, but losing Declan Rice, it's like the thing that really has been an irritant since we lost Gabby on international duty. People going, "Oh, I thought we had a deep squad." You have a really deep squad, but Gabby gets into almost any squad in the world. So, unless you want a Real Madrid first team, Arsenal first team as your second team, you're never going to be able to replace every player. Erling Haaland's irreplaceable for Man City. Virgil van Dijk plays every minute for Liverpool. There are just some players that if you lost them, losing them is a bigger deal than losing someone really good. I think it's really interesting that Nketiah hasn't put a foot wrong yet. This was a North London derby. I thought all the new players, Zubimendi, Nketiah, I think they did really well. But the Chelsea game is much more important than the Bayern game. Yeah, I think that's what I've been saying. Timber was so good today, always wins his duels. I love Timber. Got that power, isn't he? He's got the strength.
There's one bit where I think there are 2 Spurs players around Timber. And all of a sudden, he just came out with the ball. And I'm thinking, oh, that's good.
He's got such good upper body strength.
Yes.
I'm going to take a comfort break. I can still hear you. Carry on as you are.
Oh, I was waiting for Dan to say something. So he's gone off for having powder his nose, is he? Yeah, I mean, we beat Spurs 4-1. Does it get any better? Yes, because I predicted 5 goals today. I just honestly didn't think Spurs would score one of them. So I was only 1 goal out. Ryan's there. He will confirm that I predicted 5-0 to Arsenal. So nice to see Ryan there. No, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. Shall I have a cigarette or shall I wait until Dan comes? Oh, there he is.
The controls looked like too much information. Timber is always box office. The guy has a high football IQ. I love it. Has anyone heard Saka speak about Eze in the youth system? They must have known each other. Curious. There's enough of a gap in age that they might not have done. Ryan from Mr. Arsenal Podcast. How the devil are you?
Yeah, no, because Eze is about 4 years older than.
Yeah, he's 27. Isn't he?
Yeah. So
enough. I don't know. I mean, maybe they do know each other. I don't know how big a deal Eze was when he was at Arsenal. Is the other thing. Probably not that much because he left at 16, didn't he?
Yeah.
So at that point, Saka would have been 12. I don't know. I haven't heard them talk about each other. But I did see this lovely little show where they were trying to guess which one was a real footballer. I don't know who did it, but really, really fun. Eze, Declan Rice were on there together with Saliba. I think that's right. It was definitely William Saliba and Eze. I might have just made up Declan Rice.
It's Saliba, Eze, and the two lads who do it.
Yeah. It was really fun, but it was really nice. Like the bond that you could see, there was already a bond between Saliba and Eze. I think he's a good people person. Anyway, I fucking love him. Just scored a hat trick. Last player to score a hat trick against Tottenham in the North London derby.
Away, Sunderland.
Yes, the
God,
one and
yeah.
only. Timber gets forward, crosses the ball, wins duels all over the field. Saka, megging Vod. Right, yeah, I didn't see that. Do I remember that? I have to go back and watch the game again, which I don't mind doing. Excuse me. Zanzi, you're still in the witness protection program. They are. Saka would know Elise from Arsenal Academy, not Eze. Shit. Let's not talk too much. It's like the Bayern have got Serge Gnabry, which is, I still say, the worst loss we made out of the youth team. Zanzi made me think about Wayne's World when Garth had the solo cam lol. Watching the players guess their FIFA 26 stats was funny. I bet that's funny. I'd give that a watch, definitely. I like it when something great happens. I mean, do you know what? You get it's emotions, right? It's not necessarily rational. When we signed Eberechi Eze, everyone who was here, I said it, for me, it felt like the Ian Wright signing. Not just because he came from Palace, not just because he was a really game-changing player with enthusiasm and skills, just because of a sort of charisma, a very natural charisma. Like the charisma of a man who, on the field, knows it's his job to make something happen. I just love him. Today, I mean, what was your favourite goal today?
Oh. I'm trying to think of them in my head at the moment. Was it his second or third goal?
I think the Trossard goal is such a good pass, right? Like, I'm looking at it going, was that Zubimendi? And it was Marino, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I just thought that's such a good pass. Shit, and I'm ready to go. See, that's why you. And then you go, what the fuck's he doing there? Surely that's not where a number 9 should be. But so I like Trossard's goal, but Eze's finishing left foot, right foot. Have a word.
There was a second goal where he puts it into the right-hand side of the keeper, wasn't that?
Yeah, but it kind of gets a deflection, doesn't it?
No, that one didn't.
Oh, the one that didn't. Okay, yeah. So we might be talking about the same one, but the one where it's chaos in the penalty area and then he shoots and it comes off the defender and goes into the left corner. Just fucking what you wanted. How many times?
Oh, that was his first one, wasn't that?
Yeah, the first one for me was just like you're watching pinball around. And it's like one man's in control, and then it goes in, and you're like, yes, that's exactly what I wanted. Wait a minute, that's not a set piece. Blow the whistle. Oh, how close did Saka come with his free kick?
Yeah.
Two. I was like, don't give him another. The third one's going in, and you won't know what to do with yourselves. I hope they made him walk home.
Saka, you're useless. You're walking.
Yeah. Watching some of the past Sky coverage studio stuff, it's really dawning on them that we're going to win the league. They're so miserable. You love to see it. I do love to see it. I've taken names, mate. Trossard. Eze's third goal. Do you know what? I think it is for me. That's such a good goal. Control to take it down. The one turn and shot, I loved it. But it wasn't a set piece. Does it still count?
He is very humble in all 3 goals he scored, apart from maybe the first one where he's a little bit mad. But then watching Saliba, he was fucking mad in all 4 goals.
Yeah. I love the way, the other thing that is really clear is the way the team sort of gels together and that they are friends. In some game this season, Saka is going to score that free kick. I can't wait to watch the haters' reactions. The haters are going to hate. That's what they do, man. We must give credit to whoever treated Eze's Achilles tendon rupture. That's a nasty injury for an elite athlete. Very well said. Just keep everyone fit. Run of games is really important. I know, but we all want to see us win against Bayern. But I'd like to see our second string win against Bayern. That's where I am. Thoughts on the rest of the weekend? I'm going to slowly bring it to a close, Sandy.
Well, the rest of the weekend, I tell you what, with Man City, Liverpool both losing, I thought, well, this is a good start for the weekend. And then the nerves got to me before kickoff today. And when we scored the first goal, I was happy. When we scored the second goal, I was happier. When we scored the third goal, I was getting too excited. Then they scored, and I thought, okay. And then Eze with that third goal, and I was thinking, fuck me, a hat-trick.
Well, I knew I wasn't going to know how to deal with a fourth goal. I was like, 3 seemed right. 3 just seemed like normal. 3 seemed, okay, we beat them. They'll get 1, 3-1. 4-1 at 4, I just felt like I could feel it rising up in me. Like, I want 6, I want 7. Nothing will ever abate this. I want them destroyed. I want their stadium torn down. Salt the earth so that nothing more may grow. I was literally like, destroy them forever. The history of them, the memory of them. I kind of did that anyway, didn't we?
They had 3 shots. 1 was off target. Nothing in the first half. They didn't even have a shot in the first half.
No.
Their first shot on target was the goal. Their second shot, which was on target, it was the one where it might have been Simmons, or might not have been him, but it came in from the left-hand side, shot, and then it just went into Raya's midriff, so he didn't even have to die for it. And the third shot went ballooning over the crossbar. So I'm thinking that's their whole attempt in 90 minutes in the North London derby.
Yeah, I mean, they had for fans of expected goals, they had a 0.07.
I know, 0.07.
So, yeah, I mean, that's literally what we've been facing a lot of, is no shots on target. And I think you're right. I think technically they had a shot on target.
Saka and Eze's goals for England in our 2-0 win, their combined XG for that was 0.05, and they scored 2 goals, 2 brilliant goals, I must say.
Well, you have to be if you're going to score a low XG goal.
Oh yeah, but of course it was Foden's pass which set up Eze, wasn't it?
Just the weight on it. It was so perfectly average. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It was like, it was exactly what you'd expect a person paid to kick a football would be able to do, and he did it.
Yeah,
to almost exactly the standard. I cannot believe people were talking about Foden's pass. It's just next level ridiculousness. It's like there are no footballers who can't do that pass.
Did you hear the commentator? No, not commentator. He was talking to Eze after the game, and his second question to him was, "Oh, and of course, Foden's pass must have really set you up for that goal."
He's like, "Shut up."
And Eze sort of, you can see him think for a second, thinking, "Well, was it?" Yes, of course it was. He said, "Yeah." What else can you say?
I just think some of the questions they get asked are stupid anyway. It looked like Eze had fallen out with someone when they were asking him questions. I mean, I do feel for him. I think they were asking him which his favourite goal was. He's like, I don't really care, mate. I just scored the hat-trick. So, I mean, like, the best goal of the day will definitely go to Richarlison. There's not a lot I can say about that. It felt a bit like David Rocastle's goal against Man United, but without Paul Ince and Brian Robson trying to tackle him and Peter Schmeichel in goal. Just saying. Things are going so well at Arsenal, and things have already gone wrong. The universe can't stop us now. The Black Swan event, whatever the fuck it is, it's going to need to be a bit masterful, this one, isn't it? AI aged Cole Palmer must be fuming. That is one of my favourite funny remarks about AI aged Cole Palmer. It's so, don't get on the wrong side of expressions. Powder his nose, careful. Zandy, any last thoughts before I close down for the night and have a good long sleep?
Well, it's been an emotional day today. It was great that we've got some medication in the chat now with Colliston 42. Miss Melina's hair, brilliant to see her.
Miss Melina, couldn't do without
She
you guys.
has to come into chat one day.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh,
Maybe she lost her mic.
Oh, is that what? Oh, I haven't even actually seen Fresh Strip Art for a week now. I don't think.
No. I'll have to message him and find out where he is. I think he might have died. I don't know.
Well, don't message him if he's died because they might charge you for that.
That's true. Yeah,
That's
no. If I do it on WhatsApp thing, we think it's free. Hopefully.
Yeah, but then aren't the Russians like intercepting that and knowing where our military is? And I don't know.
The Russians are doing that and they think, oh, so this is where the drugs come from.
No, I just don't want them to find out where the basement of the Guna Cave is because, as you know, the Adams Arms is very well stocked in the event of an apocalypse.
Yeah. But the chat's been great today. It's been lively. That's the main thing.
The chat's been outstanding. Listen, the way I see it is all of us in our own way are just really happy today. And that's the most important thing. It's like Christmas. I felt like wearing a Christmas jumper.
I'm going to totally lie now. If we don't win the league, I don't care because of today. I do.
No, I actually said before the game, if we don't win this, it will tarnish winning the Premier League. It won't be as beautiful, but winning today 4-1 just makes me feel like, yes, we're fucking having this one. We're not, how will Arsenal cope with the pressure of Man City losing and Liverpool losing? It's like, that's not our business. You crack on with your losing. We're just going to go and spank these spuds back into the shadows. North London is now and will always be red.
Yeah. And I was quite happy, actually, because I've got a brother who supports Forest, they won. Got a brother who supports Brighton, they won. Got a brother who supports Fulham, and they won.
That's right. After that's a good accumulator you guys could have done. No, Brighton's result was great. Spurs witnessed more possession today than Dallas Police Department. Love it. Well said, Lone Star. Philosopher, Cowboy. Basket of beautiful spuds, tears, people. Thanks. Have a great week. Hope to see you all on Tuesday. Uninterrupted Tuesday Club. Much more casual post-Bayern kind of vibe, I think. Maybe there'll be a lot of angry people. I really hope not. I just let's surf the happy times.
Were you all right on Friday, though?
Yeah, everything's good. Do you know what? It's been full on at work and I just needed time off. I turned off all my devices for the weekend. I watched some old films, got some sleep, did some exercise, ate well, and I'm ready for another week. It's only another 4 weeks before Christmas breaks and stuff, but it's a little.
What films did you watch then?
I watched The Godfather again, which I could. It's because the missus was away last night, so it's just me on my own. So I watched.
Was it The Godfather?
Yeah, it was Godfather, but the one with all women in it. That
That's
one.
Right. Godfather.
Yeah. I'm not going to try and sit here and work out a really good pun for this film. I have already tried. The Welsh.
It was called "Oh Godfather, Daddy Spanks Me."
No, none of that. And lots of football. Watched the games, but not really the comment around it. So I'm really quite looking forward to tonight before I go to sleep. Got one or two things left to do, and then I'm going to edit them, and then I'm going to probably watch some Liverpool fans melting down, probably watch some Spurs fans crashing out, probably watch some Man City fans pretending that they're blue sharks swimming about in the. I don't know. Listen, the reason I'm not scared of sharks is because sharks can't play football.
I'm just so glad that my grandfather gave me a rug to support Arsenal, because if it had been Spurs, I'd have burnt it by now, and I would have given up football.
Well, you'd have just done what most Spurs fans do. You'd have gotten to a sensible age and stopped following football. Every now and again you'd get in a cab and go, "How are Spurs getting on?" You go, "Oh, fucking same as usual," and you go, "Thank God I left that nonsense behind."
God, to think I'll probably be taken up and following rugby league or rugby union now.
Fuck that. Or cricket, which I don't know, cricket's the most magical game, because 1 minute I'm never watching it, but 1 minute I'm hearing, "Oh, England doing really well," and then I seem to take a deep breath and someone goes, "Oh, we've lost the Ashes." All right, I don't know. Should we play someone? I don't know. Cricket, rugby. I know football though, and I know North London, and I know that it will forever be red.
Always red.
Zanzi, last thoughts, please, before I turn the mic inward.
I'm just glad I don't follow cricket either, because how can you play for 5 days and no one wins?
Yeah, I know. The catering wins.
Yeah. Yeah, and the deck chair sellers. Deck chairs. Oh yeah, got the Anki caps as well.
Yeah, and can we play in green kits, because this is silly? It's like silly. You'll be kidding.
Yeah.
Look, is that
They're all playing in white. Who am I supporting?
Exactly.
Everyone. Yeah. Anyway, it's been a great. It's been a quick but great. Mind you, it hasn't been that quick, really, has it?
No, we're heading for 1 hour 40. I'm trying to keep them all under 2 hours wherever possible, but sometimes it's not possible. I tend to find it more possible on days when my eyes are closing involuntarily.
True.
I did think of doing this earlier, but there's just so much celebrating to do, you know?
There is.
And
I'll have to go and watch the match again.
Yeah, I'm going to do that tomorrow on the Arsenal channel. Is that where you watch it again?
No, I'll watch it tonight a couple of times on the website, because it's about 6 minutes or so of it.
Well, the full match is available on the Arsenal website.
Yeah, I should go on to that later.
Well, all it remains for me to say is thank you to everyone who was here. When you consider Spurs hasn't lost any away from today, it would be buried them. Yeah, that was the thing. They came in with confidence and they leave without it. I have no interest in hearing about Tottenham now until the next time we play them, by which day St Totteringham's Day will already have passed. Today was really St Totteringham's Day. Today, we already know 12 games played. This lot are not finishing above us in the league this season. They're just not. I don't see them in the top 4 anymore. Man City had their fin cut off. Liverpool have had their front and back doors kicked in now. Chelsea are suddenly going, what do you mean we have to challenge them? We don't have to challenge. But it's a must-win game next week that we all have a week to prepare for. And, of course, a very good game against Bayern midweek, which I hope to see you all right after. So thank you once again for being here. And now go and celebrate however you deem fit. Much love. Be lucky.
Bye.
Bye.